What's up guys, Clam Chowdy here. Today we're going to be talking about Feral Druid PvP tips and tricks. So whether you're new to Feral Druid or a returning player, these are some of the things that you need to know or you may have forgot about. And implementing these things right now into your gameplay is guaranteed to make you a better Feral. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is shifting snares. As a Druid, you can shapeshift into all sorts of different forms, and there's some really good ways you can use that to your advantage. Whether you get rooted by entangling roots, a totem, or get snared by a mage, good news for you is it won't slow you down at all. To get out of roots quickly, you can just shapeshift into another form, and it's going to break the root right away and allow you to continue running at your target. Make sure they don't get too much distance on you. Now when you are shifting like this, you can shift into bear form, back into cat form. You could shift into your caster form if you wanted to, though I don't recommend it. And you can also shift into travel form as well. Normally this will throw you into cheetah or stag or whichever form you have. All these different forms have different abilities and different purposes, so be smart with which one you choose. One other thing that you're going to always want to watch out for and shift when you can is if you're fighting a hunter or another druid, there's two spells that can be really problematic for you, one of which is Scare Beast and the other one is Hibernate. So if you see you're the target and either one of these are getting casted on you, the thing you're going to want to do, as soon as it gets close to the end of that cast and it's about to hit, just shift into caster form, and neither of those will be able to affect you, and they just wasted all that time trying to cast. After that, you just shift back into cat form, then you're doing your business. So the next thing we're going to want to talk about is how to do your burst damage. Feral Druid has two really specific ways of bursting without using a Covenant ability. The first one is going to be a combination of your Feral Frenzy and your Ferocious Bite. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is have all bleeds on the target, Tiger's Fury, Feral Frenzy, Big Ferocious Bite. You see you get massive damage very, very quickly, and you can do this every minute. Not only do you guarantee big damage out of Feral Frenzy, but with all the bleeds on your target, you also are guaranteed to get a big Ferocious Bite. If you do the same setup without bleeds on the target, your Ferocious Bite will not hit as hard, so make sure your bleeds are on the target before you do it. Your other in-between burst window is going to be with Berserk. It's going to be very similar. You're going to want to make sure you have all your bleeds on the target, and then you're just going to Berserk, and you're going to shred and bite as many times as you can during this. Once you start getting these free procs, it becomes a lot easier. You can get some big burst out. Do this whenever it's available, but 3 minutes is a really long cooldown, so more often than not, you're going to be relying on your other burst with Feral Frenzy and the Ferocious Bite. And you can hit that here too to get some big bites off. The next thing we're going to talk about is Omen of Clarity and Predatory Swiftness. These are both passive abilities that have a chance to proc and give you either extra damage or a free cast on a regrowth or entangling roots or something like that. Let's look at Omen of Clarity first. When clear casting's procced, it gives you the ability to have a free Shred, Thrash, or Brutal Slash. You're almost always going to want to use that on either Shred or on Thrash. They both use more energy than Brutal Slash, so it's better to use them when they're free like this and they're not going to cost you a bunch of energy to help you get additional damage out. Next is Predatory Swiftness. When you hit a combo point ability, you have a chance to proc Predatory Swiftness. This gives you free regrowths that you can use when you're inside cat form. So when you get the proc, you can see I can cast Regrowth or Entangling Roots, both nature spells. So knowing whether or not you should use it on a heal for yourself, a heal for someone else, or an Entangling Roots to keep a melee off of you, it's going to be situation based. But the great news is when you have this proc, you can do both of those spells in cat form without having to cast anything. It's an instant cast. So this can be super beneficial. Make sure you do not waste these. Use it on a heal if you're not going to use it on something else, but use every single one you have. Otherwise, you're not getting the most out of this passive ability. Next, let's talk about Wild Charge. Everyone knows you can use Wild Charge to jump to your enemies, and a lot of times that will be the way you use it. Leaping behind your enemies so you can get some free damage off. They can't kite you away. However, the other uses for Wild Charge are also very, very good. For instance, if you are in caster form, you can actually charge to an ally that's nearby. This is going to allow you to do a couple different things. If you're playing an arena and you want to eat a trap for your healer, you can always leap to your healer and eat the trap for them. Or if you're just in a battleground or some other situation and you need to get away from somebody, you can always leap to your closest ally. It may save your life, you never know. You can also use Wild Charge in bear form and in travel form as well. In bear form, it's going to charge straight to the enemy. In travel form, it's actually going to give you a leap similar to the caster form version, except you don't have to have an ally targeted. You can just leap forward. So this is really good when it comes to getting away from melee or taking a different pathing that other classes aren't going to be able to do by you leaping over a gap or something like that. And there you have it, guys. There are your Feral Druid PvP tips and tricks. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And if you want to learn more things about Feral Druid, like how to stay alive and what talents and conduits to run, check out some of my other videos. Catch you guys later.